Well, Lando, congratulations. Martin Brundle said that was a champion's lap, lying 10th. But did you always have it under control in Q3 there?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was certainly a bit tougher than it probably was yesterday. Just track conditions, handling of the car. I mean, I think for everyone, just trickier today with the winds. I would say things are generally under control. I felt like the beginning of quali I was a little bit off. I made some good improvements through qualifying. Even though I topped all of them, I didn't feel that great in the first couple. And then obviously Q3 on 1 with the lockup. Certainly uneased me a little bit. But yeah, I've been in that position, thankfully, a good amount of times. So, I knew I just needed to stay calm. The laps that other people were doing were good, but not as good as what I had done. So I was confident still that I could just go out, as long as I got through turn 1, that I could do a lap that's good enough for pole, and that's what I did.
Yeah, listen, Max will be starting 16th or he's down the field. You've got a couple of cars between yourself and Oscar. It's kind of a moment in the season. You'll be aware of that. How significant, and what is the big challenge to converting this pole to victory?
I think we have to just wait and see. Honestly, the pace, this morning in the sprint was good, but not good enough. I certainly don't want to do a whole race with Kimi that close to me, putting us under that much pressure, because they were quicker simply this morning. So I don't know yet. I think we obviously had a bit of a gap yesterday in quali. They closed up in the race, so we have to just wait. We have to do our homework. We have to prepare well. But I think just we're going to have good competition. So keep it clean, get a good start, then just do what I do.
Well done. Well, Oscar, you obviously had the tough start to the day. A lot of characters come back and take provisional pole. Ultimately, the final run in Q3, what happened?
Just it didn't go any faster. I think that was the biggest thing. Just very different conditions to what we had yesterday, I would say, and just everything felt much trickier today. So, obviously a bit disappointing with the result, but the cars looked quick this weekend, especially over a longer run. So hopefully I can take advantage of that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, in title terms, obviously you've lost some points to Lando. Got to make something happen tomorrow. I mean, it's got to be forward. You've got to try and put pressure on them if you can at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I think ultimately I'll try and take whatever opportunities arise, and if I can make progress forwards and put some pressure on, then I will. But got to get there first.
Well, Andrea, congratulations. It's another Grand Prix pole position, just as it was a sprint race pole position and win for that matter. How have you managed to prevail, and Lando managed to prevail on such a tricky circuit? We've heard the drivers talking about the wind, the conditions, everything very unpredictable.
I think you're right. The conditions were very unpredictable with the gusting wind. We saw even Lando in the first attempt was caught by these unpredictable conditions. He lost the lap in corner 1 and 2 with a lockup. He did a very good job in staying calm in the second lap, just making sure that he was nice and clean, as we say. And this was enough for pole position, considering that Lando has been very fast throughout the weekend. I think we had good pace on Oscars as well. He was caught by some of these little glitches in terms of grip and wind in both laps, so there was a little bit more to come on Oscar's side, but I'm sure this will come back to us tomorrow in the race. So far, almost a fully positive day if it wasn't for the crash we had in the sprint, but a good starting position for the race tomorrow.
But generally speaking, in terms of the championship as well, positive for one man, and that's Lando Norris, considering where Max Verstappen qualified today, and as you say, Oscar not scoring any points. And maybe give us some insight and your thoughts on, maybe this is a weekend he really needs in terms of his championship and managing to stretch that gap potentially.
Well, Ted, you need every weekend. You need every session. It's becoming almost a battle of consistency, if you want. You just have to be there, face the adversities, and even if you can't maximize, just make sure you are there. So I'm not sure what happened to Red Bull, but at the same time today, as one of the elements of qualifying, there was the field being so tight like midfielders, they were 1 or 2 tenths from the top cars. So again, there was not really room for any imperfection in execution. So a matter of consistency, a matter of performance. Hopefully we will keep the good rhythm going tomorrow.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Andrea. Congratulations on the pole.
For you, Lewis, you spoke about the rear tyre temperatures not being right. What were you trying to do to set that right? Was it a different kind of preparation lap, or what? What could be done?
Just the way that we had it going today. Just the rears weren't there.
In terms of tomorrow, then, we saw you come through and make some places up in the sprints. You've taken some of the rear wing out. Can you have a better day on Sunday?
Not from where I am, and that's the weekend now pretty much.
P3, it looked like you pulled a lap out of the bag there. I guess you would have taken that result before qualifying after the sprint. And what can you expect tomorrow? Can you look forward? Will it be a battle in the mirrors?
No, I will look forward, whatever our pace is, trying to do something special. But we haven't revolutionized the car from sprint quali to quali, but we did some fine tunings, and it's a matter of 1/10 or 1/10 and a half from having a disastrous qualifying to a very good qualifying with the gaps there are this weekend. So it was all about putting everything together, and I'm very happy we did that.
Frustration over the radio, clearly missing something in terms of tyre temperature. What was the headache?
Just had no grip, to be honest. I think definitely wasn't the only one complaining of that. You look at, obviously Max was out in Q1, Lewis out, Behrman was at the top and his teammate was at the bottom. And I just couldn't get them switched on. I just couldn't find that sweet spot, and I was just sliding around. I had no grip, so it's a bit of a shame. But part of me, when I see Max and Lewis, how bad it could have been, I think we made the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. So you had the same setup more or less as Kimi, but just the personal driving style leading it a different way.
I think on days like this, when the tyres aren't working. One driver's driving just can get the tyre switched on, another driver's driving doesn't, and I think this has been probably one of the most obscure qualifying sessions of the year. Kimi's done a great job all weekend, to be honest, so credit to him, but it was obviously a very odd session.
Tomorrow, briefly, what can you do?
I hope we can.
Cool temperatures, I think.
Yeah, I hope we can move forward. I'm confident we can move forward, but I think we've obviously got Piastri there, who'll be pretty quick. Charles is maybe the unknown, but realistically, to get onto the podium, I don't think, at least on my side, I don't think we have the pace this weekend.
Kimi, you've never competed at this track before, so is it a kind of instant good feeling you've had with it, or is it the process you now adopt to a Grand Prix weekend which has delivered these results?
No, definitely. I mean, it's been, to be fair, it's been a good period. I've had a couple of strong races, even though the result didn't really show it, but I was feeling better and better in the car, and this weekend we're putting more things together. So it's good to see. I'm more confident in the car, and just looking forward to tomorrow. Massive opportunity to score big points, especially against Ferrari, and it will be good to finish the weekend on a high.
Yeah, quite cool temperatures tomorrow, which tends to suit your car. And what did you learn maybe from the sprint that you can put into practice in the race?
Yeah, I mean, today the sprint was, were 24 laps of were 24 qualifying laps. So obviously tomorrow with higher fuel, it's going to be cold, but still higher fuel is going to require some management, because I think that despite the temperature, it's not going to be easy one stop. So we might see some different strategy, but I mean, wind is going to rotate as well, 180 degrees, so going back to what it was on Friday, so it should be better on that side. And I mean, looking at today, I think I hope, and I would love to be P1, but of course it's not going to be easy, and on my side I'm just going to try to do everything right from the start, and then try to put pressure. Thank you.
You've clearly tried everything with the car over this weekend. Have you felt less grip in a Red Bull car since you've been at the team than here?
Yeah, it was just bad. I mean, I couldn't push at all. The car was all over the place.
sliding around a lot. So yeah, I had to underdrive it a lot, just to not have a moment. And that of course doesn't work in qualifying.
Listen, you won from 17th last year in special circumstances. You've entertained and excited us by getting back into this title fight. How tough is it going to be to do something tomorrow?
I mean, we first have to analyze what is going on. I don't really understand how it can be this bad. So that's, I think, more important for us to understand at the moment.
Yuki, another tough session out there. That must be frustrating to take. How did it all unfold on your side? What's missing from the car at the moment?
Grip. Yeah.
It's on a Saturday. I think I was reading a statistic that coming into the weekend, outside the top 4 teams, you've got the best average starting position, which is about 10.4 or something like that. I didn't know you could get points, but that's improved the average even more. 5th. Could you expected it? And did you know what was going on out there? Everyone was like, what's happening? Even you.
5th is unbelievable. I think, I started Q1, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, the car just felt so hard to drive, so unpredictable on the rear end, and with the wind change, but I had to adapt to it and just change all the tools, the flap on the car, and it was just very messy. What is this?
This is you.
Is that my best lap?
No, I think this is just some shot. I'm not sure, actually.
But that's where I lost it in Q2.
I was going to say, we saw the moment in turn 1 and it did look a handful, but you say you changed tools in the car and it was a handful, but was there something you could put a finger on? Was it the wind? Because a lot of people seem to struggle, especially with the tyres. It seemed to be one way or the other quite consistently.
Yeah, we definitely a big tailwind into turn 1. And it's the worst feeling. You go into the corner, you have no stability. If you manage to kind of undershoot the entry, then you end up having the worst understeer at the apex. And it's just to get your head around it and have a decent one when it matters is very difficult. But through Sector 2, we were very competitive. But again, the car was just on the nose, and I was just fighting the car so hard through the lap.
But it looks like, although in the cockpit, it must have felt difficult. Yeah. I think you'll find when you go back, everyone's had the same complaint. We had Charles, who was nowhere in the sprint, and suddenly he was fighting for pole. Clearly the car 5th and 7th, Liam just behind you on the grid, and all through, you guys were there. So it's obviously a decent package for this track, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously when you're in the car, you think it's the worst for you, you don't think about the others. But yeah, obviously it was hard for everyone, but also uncomfortable doesn't mean slow. It's I think the car today was faster than yesterday, even though it was more on the nose, but it was the faster approach.
Isaac, I've got to ask you a question, because actually we saw both of the Red Bulls out in Q1 there. Max just saying absolutely undrivable, and when he's saying it's undrivable, it is undrivable. Obviously you've been linked with that second seat. Do you have any idea when you're going to get an indication as to whether you're going to be moving up into Red Bull?
At the end of the year, like every year since I've been signed by the junior team, I know my future after the checkered flag of the final race. So it's always the same.
Okay, just give us an indication of what's possible tomorrow, though, from where you are, starting from 5th.
I mean, obviously there's George right behind us. I think they are very fast in the race. So if we finish behind him, I think is a huge result.
Into Q3, that looked like a very solid effort from the outside. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was good, I think.
Yeah, you said it there, decent place for tomorrow. What's your expectation there? I guess eyes very much on the points.
Yeah, trying to score points, that's the target, honestly. It's both cars in Q3, obviously, which puts us in a good position. So we'll definitely give it a good shot.
Thank you.
You identified improving your qualifying. Today must feel pretty satisfying with that outcome.
Yeah, happy that the first Q3 of the year took me long enough. So take that one happy eye. On the other side, it's 1/10 to P5 where Isaac is, and it's just been difficult today with the wind direction that we have today. Since this morning, it's been a bit of a struggle for our car, and really difficult to get the laps together. And that's it basically.
Yeah. Nice to see you embrace Gabby. I mean, it's a reminder of what this sport can be like at times. That was a frightening crash today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It happened to all of us. And it doesn't feel good. And course, he's upset about that. But like I said, I think it happened to the best in the sport, and it's just inevitable. And I know that he will bounce back.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Gabby, really good to see you here. And it was we all were very worried in the aftermath of the crash, especially for you to have your family here and everything else. You were quickly on the radio to speak to them. How do you understand what happened now?
Yeah, just tried a move that didn't end up very well, to be honest. I think the pace was going right in that moment, so I was quite a lot faster than Alex in that moment. I tried to make the first move, I did it, and then he overtook me back in T4 with DRS. And then in the second lap, I just pointed the car, broke, and I was in the wall. So, yeah.
How do you look forward to tomorrow?
I look forward to much because I didn't manage to do quali, and it's a shame. My first home Grand Prix, I've not been able to do quali, but tomorrow I'm going to be starting last, but let's see what we can achieve.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a very big and very nasty crash for the Gabriel Borteleto, but at the end of the day, thankfully he is okay, and I think everyone was afraid after that crash. It was a good thing to hear his sound that was telling that he's okay, especially his family. His relatives were very worried about after that crash, but as I said, hopefully, thankfully, he is okay, and he's going to race tomorrow at his home Grand Prix. I hope for him tomorrow at the race to have a clean race and to finish his first home Grand Prix, and 1 more 2 3 for the Nico Hulkenberg. Also congratulations to him. These kind of performances is not easy with this kind of car, but he's trying best of himself, and he's telling to everyone that if he has much more better car than this one, he's capable to do a lot of things, but unfortunately he has a slow car. Don't forget to like the video, to comment it, and to subscribe to the channel.